to resurrect the dead in human society who are still alive. In the average society, there are lots of dead people. In the average society, there are lots of dead people. They are the walking dead, the talking dead, the living dead. But their life has no consequences. You and I need to wake up to that. Because nothing is going to bring about resurrection of our life. Nothing is going to cause our life to rise out of what we are in unless we do that for ourselves. So the important issue I like to bring to my focus and yours, we need to investigate what we follow. We need not to say, Sheikh such and such said this, therefore I will follow it. And Imam such and such said this, so I will follow it. If you go in the Qur'an, you don't see this. This Qur'an doesn't tell us to follow the opinion of a Sheikh, or the opinion of an Imam, or the opinion of a Mufti. It doesn't say that. There's nothing there. But the majority of the Muslims, what do? They pick up the phone, they dial a fatwa, they go and meet their own sheikh if they go back to their own home, because we are very cultural, you know. We meet our own sheikh, this one say this one say this. The biggest problem is, the average people that we look up to don't tell us this simple sense that I'm sharing with you. If it doesn't make sense to you, by all means, just throw it away. But be responsible of one thing. That I'm reminding myself and reminding you, do you really have the authority to put the book of God behind your backs? To tie up the book of God as the people of the Prophet's time did? The Qur'an tells us what the people of the Prophet did. Ya Rabbi inna qawmi, Ya Rabbi inna qawmi, ittakhadhu hadha al-Qur'ana mahjura. Ask the Arabs if you don't know the word mahjur. I hope they too know it. Because a lot of the Arabs have forgotten the classical Arabic and the usage of classical Arabic. Mahjur is to immobilize. They used to tie the horns of the animal to the front hoofs to prevent it from moving. So the Prophet was crying out to his God. It's in Surah Furqan. Ya Rabbi inna qawmi, my own people, not my strangers, my own people, ittakhadhu hadha al-Qur'ana mahjura. They have immobilized this Qur'an. Does that mean anything to you and to me? Are we part of that? Have we immobilized the Qur'an? Do we allow the Qur'an to dictate its lofty vision for us? This is the struggle today, brothers and sisters. I ask you to search. I ask you to spend time. I ask you to become members of learning. The attitude of when you have a problem to call somebody whom you call Islamic and religious and educated is not the Qur'anic teachings. While we are students, while we are studying, while we involve in really analyzing, definitely we can benefit from the thoughts of others. But we must be students. Because it's very difficult to talk to somebody who is not even in the kindergarten class yet, and he asks or she asks a question, and then you have got to explain. His or her ability to even understand that is difficult. Much less if that person now goes and tells somebody else. What can they really say? So I remind myself and you, the Qur'an wants us to consider very seriously the issue of relying on human gods. human gods, which are also known as Taghut. Anybody who diverts us from divine guidance and makes us adopt ideas and beliefs and habits that are contradictory to divine guidance are Taghut according to the Qur'an. It's not me. So Taghut, they are not jinns. Taghut are not ghosts. Taghut are not some kind of bad omen or good omen. Taghut are human beings who find it easy to put the book of God aside and to give explanations to people that are contradictory to the essence, the substance, the meaning, the significance and implication of what Allah has revealed. I leave this with myself and you. But we are mature people, we are educated people, we are professional people. We are people coming from all parts. Because of circumstances we come to this particular center, this particular unit. I would like you to consider what is being said. I would like you to share it with your family, with your friends. I hope we are all realizing the importance of learning. Taghut is a serious issue. Discuss it with your teachers, whoever teach Islam to you. Discuss it with people. Just discuss it, hear what they say. Then go to the dictionaries as much as you can and research this word. And remember, the conflicts in Muslim societies, the religious conflicts in Muslim societies, more than anything else, is the result of so many taghut in their societies. Because if we had the book of God, and we had no baggage to deal with the book of God, we were not Sunnis, we were not Shias, we were not Hanifis and Shafis and Malikis and Hanbalis and Awza'is, and I can quote a whole number of other names. If we were only dealing with the book of God, your life and my life will have so much of substance that whenever we fall, which is human to fall, we will also want to get up. That we will be very eager to see our children better than us. We will be very eager to be assets to society. That people who live around us, they wouldn't be watching from different corners of their eyes when they see people dress up in a certain way. In conclusion, I can share this. I was in the eastern part of Ontario recently, and one of the gentlemen in the audience, he said they were building a masjid. You know, there's a big race to build masjid in this place. There's no shortage of building masjid. Because people feel if they help to build a masjid, where are they going? Paradise. And there's no authority for this. There is no authority for this. You don't build a school and become somebody great. Building a school is a concept. It's not just putting boards and concrete blocks. This is not part of building a school. You need to be part of education to build a school. Because you can easily build a place as a masjid and end up building an ethnic center, like what most Muslims have built. What they have built? Ethnic center. Center of ethnicity. That favors culture, that favors tradition, where open research and dialogue is not allowed. Because as I told you before, every community here almost, they bring their own baggages from back home. They bring their own baggages from back home, and they have it there in divine style. So this gentleman said they were in the process of building a masjid in a predominantly Caucasian area, and the people was raising up and rising up against it. So I asked him, I said, do you think they have a valid point? I said, don't you think that these Muslims generally have isolated themselves in the communities in which they have lived? How much an asset is a masjid